What's going on, guys? BOR Leclerc here, and today is the URL F2 highlights from Mexico. And unlike the Japan race, at least this one is an absolute cracker. So yeah, as you can see, I'm qualifying on the super softs rather than the ultra softs. I put a lot of practice. I'm not sure the exact hours, but I put a lot of practice into this race weekend because I really wanted to do the best I could in this race so that I have the best possible chance going into Abu Dhabi, because as you guys know, or if you don't know, I will be missing the Brazil race because I am, well, I'm not sure if I can actually say, just in case the person that this is a surprise, that my dad's got a surprise plan for, is watching this. So I've probably already said too much now, haven't I? But anyway, yeah. So basically, I'm going on a family holiday, shall we say, and basically that's why I'm missing Brazil. I don't know if I should be gutted that I'm missing Brazil or what, but like, because it's going to be a fun family holiday, but at the same time, I really did want to wrap up the title in Brazil because Brazil is a more fitting place to seal titles historically compared to Abu Dhabi. But anyway, that's my qualifying lap, and it does put us P9. Sorry if I didn't do much over the quality lap, but I just had to explain why I was missing Brazil. So yeah, that's quality wrapped up, and I believe now we will be going into the race. As you can see, here's my strategy. Excuse me, going to try a cheeky little one stop. Excuse me. So yeah, the cheeky little one stop here. Add a bit of fuel just so that I have plenty to defend with towards the end, because you never know, people might come up behind me if they're on two stops. Anyway, here's the championship standings from the last race. Big thanks to Sammy for sorting these out. But the bit I want to point out is the constructors can be wrapped up this race if I'm not sure of the numbers, but if Williams failed to get the gap to less than 86, then Haas are constructors champions, which means I would have already wrapped up one title. Unfortunately, my teammate's not here to assist us with the title, but anyway, lights are out, away we go, and we actually get a pretty decent start, which is unusual if you then look at the bottom right, where it turns out we do have a setup glitch. So yeah, I'm surprised we're getting such good straight line speed off the line with this setup glitch, because normally that would hinder us. But anyway, we've gained quite a few positions there. Cut the corner a little bit there just because there wasn't enough space on the actual apex, but it's okay, we didn't gain an advantage or anything. But anyway, that's us gone from P9 to P6 already, and that's I believe, yeah, we've got P7 coming up our outside there, which then becomes the inside. We can basically take a deep line, take a nice wide approach, and then that gives us better traction out of the corner, which then also gives us the inside line for this corner. Cut it just a little bit, but it's okay. And yeah, that's us up into P6, so pretty good start for once. I mean, usually in the past few races we have been caught out with people early braking for the corners, but this time we were more than okay. And that's us up into P6 at the end of lap 1. And as you can see, there's a three-way battle going on there for what I believe is like P3 or something there. But yeah, pretty decent so far. There's Sammy, as I said earlier. Huge thanks to him for doing the stand-ins. He puts a lot of work into those stand-ins, so I do appreciate it if those that are in the league do thank him for doing the stand-ins, because not many people do thank him. I'm probably one of very few that do, but I'm publicly thanking him this time, just so he knows that he's doing a good job with the stand-ins. Anyway, on to lap 2 now. Still P6, and we're going through the S's. Now this is the bit that made me think of the one stop with the starting on the supers, because in practice was a cuts to corner big time there. But yeah, as I was saying, like the ultra softs in practice I found were overheating too much through the S's, and I just realized, and then it just gave me clever thinking that everyone in this league that I knew, apart from a couple that I told about this, were basically going to try and drive hard and flat out, burn out those ultras, and then yeah, so they'd be forced onto the two-stop. So I thought I'd try a clever approach to this race once I worked that one out, which is why we started on the supers and we're going on to the softs. Just basically try and avoid the ultras as much as possible. I only told this trick to a very small amount of people because I didn't want to give away. Ooh, bloody hell. Yeah, we just had to get right out of it there to avoid my title rival, nonetheless, almost spinning out in front of us. But yeah, so I just thought like it was probably best to try and play a smart race for this one rather than just do what I normally do and go hard and flat out, because I learnt something in AOR Malaysia, and that is if you play smart you can do the one stop, and if you do it smartly it can be quicker than the two stop, which is unusual for URL at least, because normally everyone does the two stop just like because they want to go as fast as possible rather than conserving the tyres, which I do advise you to do if you can do it, but it does take a bit of mastering, which is why I put in plenty of practice once I worked this one out. Anyway, lap 4 now, and we are going to go for the mother of all dive bombs up the inside of Expert Almond and into P5 there. And I remember I was watching the live stream back like about 2 hours or so after this race, and AOR Charlie's reaction when I went for that move was just fucking hilarious. So yeah, that's us up into P5, lap 4 now, and now we're probably going to start making some moves now to try and gain some positions, so that way these guys don't gain too much on us when they make their second pit stops. So yeah, that's us past Wazza with great ease, I must say. I'm not sure if he had a setup glitch as well or not, but it's weird that we've had such good straight line speed despite having 6.6 wings. I know it says 4, that's because I set it to the engineers or the pit crew to turn it down to 4 at the next pit stop, but that's not going to happen. Just there though, you've got Jumped Warrior and Groundsy who are going a bit full on with each other there, with the battle in there, getting a bit aggressive, shall we say. And I believe that's us just past Groundsy there, thanks to a bit of lag. And that's us into P2 now because Sammy's pit, so that's us up into P2. And now we're going to try and take a move on Jumped Warrior around the outside of Turn 1, which will be pretty tricky to pull on. He does try to run us wider than what we wanted, but we weren't having any of it. There's a bit of wheel banging there, and I believe he clips our side pod a bit there, which is why the Hand of Anger goes up. We hold the inside line just as much as possible, just because I had a feeling he was going to go for a dive bomb, and he nearly does until I shut the door. And that's us up into P1 at the end of lap 7. And I believe we're now going to cut to me pitting. Yes, we are. So, as you can imagine, Sam is pitted slightly earlier than us and is also going for the one stop. He was one of the few people that I did tell about the one stop being the way to go, if you could look after the tyres. So we're going to lose a few positions because these guys are obviously going to have gained a sort of undercut on us from pitting early on to either ultras or supers. But either way, all these guys have got to pit again. So now we're really laughing because we're going to basically going to gain a pit stop on all these guys, maybe more if we were able to pass them. Not sure what happened with Wazza there, just ghosting straight through us there, but doesn't matter. We just got to play it calm, sensible and smart now and try gain positions where we can, but don't push the tyres too much because we'll need them towards the end. And we've actually forced Almond into a little mistake there, which was pretty good of me. I don't know if he was too busy looking back to wonder where I was or what, but he made the mistake and that gave us P3. And then basically we're now going to push after Groundsy, which will be P2 if we can get past him. I don't think we're going to get him on this section here because we're just way too far back at this stage. So we're just going to brake as late as possible to close the gap as much as we can. See if we can have a go into turn 4, I think it is. And yeah, we're making good progress at this stage, and Sammy has slowed down quite a bit there. He's actually slowed down a lot there, so that's going to be us up into P2. I'm not sure if he had a puncture, front wing damage, and just felt he didn't want to hold us up too much or what, but yeah, he's slowed down a bit. I think he's regretting that mistake because now he's having a little battle with Wazza, maybe Almond as well. So that's us P2, lap 16, 20 laps to go, and we're in pretty good stead here as the car's crashed out there. If that car hasn't been causing the yellow flags, I was thinking of maybe going up the inside there but into the next corner, but unfortunately I had to lift off because of the yellow flags, which is unfortunate. We're now going to probably attempt to move on the straight. Grounds is taking quite a wide line there for some reason. I'm not sure if that's his preferred line or what, but yeah, we're now in the slipstream of Groundsy. I don't want to be in his slipstream too much because as you can see, he is lagging quite a bit. So we do pull out earlier than normal. We send it up the inside. That's us up into P1, lap 17, and now it's just a case of conserving the tyres, try and build a gap at the same time, and basically, yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote for that race, because as you're about to see, we're going to cut on to the final lap. As you can see, lap 36, final sector. I just thought I'd include this stadium section because of the confetti and stuff that goes up when you're crossing the line to win. But yeah, that's us pretty much won the race quite comfortably in the end. Sorry that the rest of the race after lap 17 was boring, but it was basically just all tactical from there on out. But I hope the first half of the race more than made up for it with the action and the overtakes and stuff. But yeah, that's us onto the podium. Apologies about the stuff that comes up on the screen in a sec. Yeah, there you go, because Charlie, who was streaming, invited me to do a post-race interview like he does with the top three. And, well, I kind of had to because I was pretty excited with that win, if I'm honest. But yeah, P1, as you can see, Sam is joined because I believe he got P3 in the end because Almond, as you will see, had a post-race penalty which bumps him down to P4. So, yeah, that's your race results. As you can see, out of all the drivers that finished the race, like without disconnecting, like Sergio Perez, I was the only one not to get a penalty, so I was pretty chuffed with that. I did have 2 warnings, but after that second warning, I just sort of went a bit more cautiously, and yeah, that's a pretty good race for me. It's a shame that Sammy couldn't do the one stop as well, otherwise we probably could have had a good battle on our hands. But yeah, I'm now going to give you the post Mexico standings, and as you can see, Haas have now wrapped up the Constructors title, which is obviously good for me, good for my teammate Atomic Ship. Once again, a big thanks to Sammy for sorting these tables out. Now, the permutations going into Brazil, even though I won't be there, is that if Almond fails to score 5 or more points, in fact more than 5, because as the way things stand, I'd win on countback. But if he fails to score more than 5 points, I am champion in Brazil. If not, then I can fight on in Abu Dhabi. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already for more F1 content, and I will see you for Abu Dhabi, if not any videos that I come up with between now and then. But anyway, thank you again, and goodbye.